Hello. I'm going to jot down really quick what I'm going to make this video about. I do want to talk a little bit about some sensations that I feel in meditation, just some different things. So this video I want to talk about a little bit about meditation and different sensations and things that I've sensed in meditation. I don't really have it organized, so I'm going to talk about, I just kind of have some things in mind, but I've talked about some things in previous videos, and I've talked about feeling like my hands change position during meditation, even though they haven't. Feel an energetic feeling where it almost feels like I can't feel my hands, but they're not numb. It's not like loss of circulation or anything like that. The body starts to almost feel like it's disappearing. And like I said, it's not a loss of circulation. It's just kind of a disappearing feeling. So I've felt like my hands and feet in particular will change positions, even though they haven't. And it really feels like my hands are in a set different position than they were when I started meditation. And since I don't move during meditation, I will sometimes think like, how is it that my hands have moved position? Because it really super feels like my hands are in a different position now. And then I will, when I come up out of meditation, I will check. Sometimes that'll be the first thing that I check, like, okay, wait. And no, my hands hadn't moved. So I'll have those, that'll happen sometimes. Another thing that will happen, I know sometimes in Las Vegas, I remember I was with someone, and we were meditating, and we were in the hotel room, and on beds meditating, and I felt like during the meditation process, I felt hands like someone went over and placed their hands on different parts of me. It was very interesting. And then after the meditation, I told who I was with, I said, hey, like, I felt hands. Turns out we had both felt that. We both felt hands were being placed on us. And we were both in meditation when that happened. So I've had that, and other things I've felt. I think like maybe like, I don't know if it's like a portal that opens up or what it is that opens up during meditation, because I meditate pretty much in the same place every time. Sometimes, like if I'm out of town, I'll meditate somewhere else. Every once in a while, here I'll meditate in a different place, but usually it's pretty much in the same spot, facing the same direction, same spot, Sometimes I'll be in different positions. I've noticed over time that there is something energetic about a window. I don't know if it's the window itself or it's just that energy there, like around that area. And I haven't totally figured out what that's about. I don't know if it's like, what is that? Some kind of portal? Like, what is it? And I say portal because the first time that because I've noticed over time that there are references to that particular part of the room, like that part of the room, and then a little bit further, like next to it, like not too far from that spot. And I say that because, I use the word portal because the first time I was successful in getting into the vibrational state with astral projection, where I had a really, really strong electrical, like the only way I could describe it would be like a lightning bolt, like being hit by a lightning bolt. When that happened, during that experience, it felt like, visually, because my eyes were closed, but what I detected, because I was on the bed and I had been napping and I was like further down on the bed, what I saw in my mind's eye, one of the things that I saw was like, with my eyes closed, was a very, very, very extremely, 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 extremely bright ball of light that was like just in the air. And actually it was there. It was like in that area where that window is at. Like I said, my eyes were closed, but still it was that part of the room. I was sensing it in that part of the room. The instructions were to step into the body of light, to cross over into the body of light. So, and it felt like I wanted to kind of go. It kind of felt like I was going to start astral projecting, but it felt like my consciousness was going to leave. It was going to leave this place, being aware, like I was still conscious, like we go to sleep and our consciousness leaves this place, right? But it was like I was half awake, half asleep. So I was lucid and I was going to leave and I was going to experience leaving this realm. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. And where I was leaving was into this really extremely bright light. I would just say it would be like a star, like the light of a blazing star. The light was white with, I think, maybe a hue of blue somewhere. But it was just like really, really bright. And it was my first time, that I had experienced this state. And so I ended up just sitting up and jumping up and like going around the room and just being so completely shocked. So there's something about that part of the room. And I know with my teacher, in his house, there's a certain part of a room, and it's a room where a lot of healings have taken place, where a lot of meditation has taken place. And there's a part of the room that it's some kind of portal, it's some kind of opening. I'm not sure what it is, but I remember one time I was meditating there, and most of the time, a lot of the time, it would be like just silent meditation. Sometimes there'd be talking before meditation or afterward, or no talking at all, just meditation. And then other times there would be some talking during part of the meditation. And this one time I remember in that area, my teacher got up and walked by that area, and then it felt like he was standing there, but it felt like he jumped over where that couch was at, and it felt like his energy jumped over and went over to the other side of the room, and it was like, whoa. And the energy was like Hulk, but Hulk is angry, so not like an angry Hulk, but just like this big, strong energy person that jumped and went over to the other side. And I was like, what was that? And then he started talking about specifically that, about, the energy that we have and, our waking self and our sleeping self, and that we have this really strong component of us energetically. And that's just something I'm keeping in mind in terms of like energetic areas, and I'm not sure how it is that they form or what it is exactly. I think it might be like some kind of portal, like energetic something that I'd like to find out more about. And so I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna start talking. I didn't even plan. Sometimes I just turn the camera on and I just start talking. Like I'll get a quick idea to maybe talk about something, and I'll turn on the camera and just let it just talk. Like out of body, astral projection, and out of body experiences. Very often there will be the ability to feel, like feeling my hands together. I can feel that. I can pick something up. I can feel things, and I'm able to do that out of body, even though I'm not in my sleep, my physical body. And in an energetic body, I can still feel, which is really interesting. And sometimes I can feel in a really, really, really heightened way. Really heightened, really, really detailed, which is really neat. Even though it's not my physical body, it's the energetic body. Yeah, so, okay.